Hello and welcome to EduAspirants, our YouTube channel for competitive exams. We are back again with a video on India, that is Bharat. And this third series of videos is on polity, which will cover our political system as also our constitution in around 4 or 5 videos. So let us begin. Polity. India, a union of states, is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic with a parliamentary system of government. A republic is governed in terms of the Constitution, and the Constitution of India was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on November 26, 1949 and enforced on January 26, 1950. I'm sure you all remember that we celebrate our Republic Day on 26th January every year. The Constitution envisages a parliamentary form of government for our country, which is federal in nature but has unitary features. Federal in the sense that it is a union of states and all states also have powers to formulate laws for governing their states. But it has certain unitary features also. All the features of national importance are generally considered by the Parliament, and our states abide by those laws created by the Parliament of India. The President of India is the constitutional head of the executive of the Union. Union, you just heard me, it is a union of states. Executive, you will know in identify. Article 74(1) of the Constitution provides that there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister as its head to aid and advise the President of India, who shall, in exercise of his functions, act in accordance with such advice. The real executive power, therefore, rests in the Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister as its head. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the House of People, that is the Lok Sabha, and the members of the Lok Sabha, we all know, are elected by the people of India. Therefore, the real power of this country for governance rests in the people of India. Similarly, friends, in states, the governor is the head of executive, but it is the Council of Ministers with the Chief Minister as its head in whom real executive power rests. The Council of Ministers of a state is collectively responsible to the Legislative Assembly of the state, and we all know that the Legislative Assembly representatives of a state are elected by the people of that state. So the real power rests in the people of the state. The Constitution distributes legislative power between Parliament and state legislatures and provides for vesting of residual powers in Parliament. Legislative power means power to make laws to govern the country, and there is a distribution between the Parliament and the state legislatures. The residual powers, however, remain with the Parliament. If there is a difference of opinion between the Parliament and the state legislatures, the final authority is the Parliament. And once that is done, all the states will have to abide by the rule or law created by the Parliament. Also, the power to amend the Constitution rests only in the Parliament and not by the state legislatures. The Constitution provisions for independence of judiciary, the Comptroller and Auditor-General, public service commissions like the Union Public Service Commission and the State Public Service Commissions and the Chief Election Commission. India is a union of 28 states, and they are Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Gujarat, Goa, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Tripura, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. I'm sure you all know the capitals of these states. You must learn the capitals also, because such questions are also asked in your competitive exams. The 8 union territories are Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Chandigarh, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. These are all together one union territory. Earlier we had one union territory, Goa, Dadar and Nagar, Goa, Daman and Diu, and Dadar and Nagar Haveli. Goa became a state, and now Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu have become one union territory. Then J&K, Ladakh, National Capital Territory of Delhi, Lakshadweep and Puducherry. So this is the list of the 8 union territories that we have. We will be studying about all these states and union territories individually after we finish all the videos on India. That is citizenship. The Constitution of India provides for a single citizenship for the whole of India. Every person who was at the commencement of the Constitution, that is on 26th January 1950, domiciled in the territory of India and who was born in India, either of whose parents were born in India, and who has been ordinarily resident in India for not less than 5 years, became a citizen of India. The third part is for those on 26th January 1950, if they were residing in India for 5 years prior to this date, they were also considered to be citizens of India. The Citizenship Act 1955 deals with matters relating to acquisition, determination, termination of Indian citizenship after the commencement of the Constitution. So this is a question that can come, and it gives you details about how you can become a citizen or how your citizenship can be terminated after the commencement of the Constitution. What does our Constitution offer to its citizens? The Constitution offers all its citizens, individually and collectively, some basic freedoms. These are guaranteed in the Constitution in the form of 6 broad categories of fundamental rights, which are justiciable. That means you can go to a court of law if you are not getting these basic freedoms. And what are these fundamental rights which provide the basic freedoms? Articles 12 to 35 contained in Part 3 of the Constitution deal with fundamental rights. So this one statement will have questions for you in the exams. These fundamental rights are right to equality, including equality before law, prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth, and equality of opportunity in matters of employment. The next is right to freedom of speech and expression, assembly, association or union, movement, residence, and right to practice any profession or occupation. However, some of these rights are subject to security of the state, friendly relations with foreign countries, public order, decency, and morality. The third is the right against exploitation, prohibiting all forms of forced labor, child labor, and traffic in human beings. We'll see the other three rights in the next slide. More on fundamental rights. The next right is right to freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Fifth is right of any section of citizens to conserve their culture, language or script, and right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. And lastly, right to constitutional remedies for enforcement of fundamental rights. That means if a citizen's fundamental rights are impinged, we can go to the court and ask for constitutional remedies for enforcement of these rights. And while we have rights, we must also have duties. So, by the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution adopted in 1976, fundamental duties of the citizens have also been enumerated. Article 51A contained in Part 4A of the Constitution, we have the fundamental duties of all its citizens listed. This 42nd Amendment adopted in 76, fundamental duties enumerated in Article 51A, Part 4A of the Constitution. All these become questions in your exams. So keep revising them. These fundamental duties enjoin upon a citizen, among other things, to abide by the Constitution, to cherish and follow noble ideals which inspired India's struggle for freedom, to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so, and to promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood, transcending religious, linguistic, and regional or sectional diversities. This brings us to the end of the first part of the 5-video series on polity. The second video on polity will begin with directive principles of state policy and shall be uploaded soon. We request you to subscribe, press the bell icon, share and like so that all notifications reach you. All the best for your preparation.